7 a.m. I am taking a desperate walk to town to get spark plugs because I keep cleaning the spark plugs of my generator, but I looked up YouTube videos and they're like, well, after a while, I mean, you can clean them, but after a while maybe they won't work. And that's what I'm finding, is that I can use them for a while, but and they're cheap, so being offline is not good for me. I'm desperate. I'm the most desperate I've ever been. Everything's messed up. Fuck, there's no water here for the birds. We'll work on that. And so I'm walking into town to get spark plugs. I'm going to try to go to the cash machine, a little bit of cash, although I'm not sure I should do that or not. Yeah, I should do that, because I found out what kind of batteries I need to get for my solar power system, and it'd be 4 of them, and it's actually the ones that I had before that I thought they didn't sell anymore. I couldn't find them on the website last time I looked, but my friend found them. My friend has been amazingly helpful. I don't even know how to say thank you to him enough. I mean, I don't know if he understands how fucked up I am. Sorry. I'm having a hard time keeping it together. I've never been this desperate in my fucking life. And it's okay. I mean, that's the that's the part of the adventure, you know. But anyway, but he looked up online what batteries I need, and he drew me a little diagram of how he would hook them up, which is actually how I would think they should be hooked up. So I don't think that'll be a problem. Usually what I do when I change the batteries is I draw a diagram and I take a picture of how they're cabled. And I switched battery types. And so this guy actually looked some stuff up for me a little bit, and I finally got the fucking answer I need of what batteries I need, because everybody else has given me a complex answer that has to do with changing my system, which I can't do. These stupid dogs are going to come with me to town because they don't listen to rules, and I need fences. I need to be able to fence in where I live over there. Not the entire area, because I don't have resources for that. Although eventually the whole property should be fenced with real fence. I have barbed wire fence right now. That's not real. Spark plugs, I'll get a thing of oil, because that's another thing that happens with the generator, is suddenly it'll give it oil warning light. And the thing is, it's like today's, I don't know, these are long walks for me. I'm still injured. I really should have physical therapy. I mean, that's what I need. And the only way to do that is to have a physical therapist come visit and do physical therapy with me every day. Now, can I do that myself? Maybe. I did find a YouTube video talking about guys around my age and how you can make sure you don't lose muscle mass. And it had a list of exercises to do. I think I should download that video. That's easy to do. And get it on my phone. And then get into an absolutely religious practice of doing those exercises. Because even though today I'm going to walk probably 12 to 14 kilometers, that's my only exercise actually. I don't do anything else at all except type on my computer using my brain, which is great, but it's not good enough. I gotta watch out for rattlesnakes right here. Oh, not this time in the morning. It's too cold. Even though I'm more desperate than I've ever been in my life, I'm also optimistic. I hope this is the right key. There's been some security problems lately around here, and some people have gotten shot, and so I'm a little more concerned about security right now. In fact, I don't even like walking on these back roads out here by myself. There's dangers going on around here, and I don't like that. I like to just be in my little magic forest and not think about any of that. Oh, it's brisk out here. Look how beautiful it is. The sunrise. All right. I can hear a chainsaw in the distance. And that is on neighboring property that I absolutely have to get rich and buy, or find somebody to buy it really quick, because my fear is it's going to get developed, and I want it to get developed in the way I want it to. I want to have neighbors that don't play music. And okay, I have to check. God damn it. Fucking work, you motherfucker. Okay, do I have signal? No, I have zero signal. Maybe I'll get signal at some point. Had an online appointment today, scheduled, but it's not important. It's some software for running nonprofits. I've often said that to keep myself going, I say to myself that desperation leads to creativity, and I hope that's true, because it hasn't led to action. It's led to a lot of creativity, and I got notebooks filled with all these cool ideas of amazing shit that can be created, like really cool shit. Get the fuck out of there. My dogs have no respect for property rights, so they just run into places. That's how dogs get shot around here. Okay. All right. No. Okay. I've been listening to audiobooks by Thomas Sowell, who's got a lot of stuff. What a prolific dude. He's an economist. I think he's mainly an economist. Maybe I just think that because the last thing I was listening to him was about economics. But he talks about all kinds of crap in U.S. society. He's a black, fuzzy-haired guy. I think he has fuzzy hair. Kind of cool-looking dude. He's got to be an old guy by now, because I've seen really old videos of him when he was younger, getting interviewed. But he's a really amazing intellectual, and I don't know how you would characterize his overall thought, but he says a whole bunch of shit I completely agree with. You know, like the last thing I was listening to was about economics and how important it is that we not mess that up and create unintended consequences, which people do all the time. And they have, of course, they're encouraged by people who have another agenda, and that agenda is your slavery. And so, but, you know, he's talking about things like, you know, rent-controlled housing and how that fucks people over. There's a whole bunch of ways people who are poor get fucked over by things that are claimed to help them, you know, and they don't. So I'll be listening to him on the way down. But I'm without power now at night, so I have candles I sit there by, and I've been reading books like crazy because my brain has to do something. And I'm pretty I guess I'm pretty unhappy because, like, this one lady, the last message I got for my power went out, my generator went out yesterday. Again, because it goes out constantly now. I'm like, why am I not just buying spark plugs? They're cheap. I mean, I'll still clean them, but apparently there's a limit to how much that works. And she wants to come down and visit and bring some people. And I think what I need to do is either tell her a price on that or set up a crowdfunding effort for reawakening of my place. And I started writing down like what it would take to actually reopen my place, fix my life enough so that I could open it to other people again and have programs running, and share my amazing space with people, share my knowledge with people in person, learn more myself. One of the ideas is to do a building program, and that has the benefit of producing housing that will support whatever other things I'm doing. So that would be absolutely brilliant. The problem with her is that if I say that they have to pay anything, they want to come help, right? But people don't want to pay to come help. And that's not going to work. So I could just do a crowdfunding thing, and it's like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because I'm like at the point of extreme desperation. And my life is so uncomfortable. I'm so without hope that there's ever going to be anybody good that I know who actually wants a win-win situation. I think that many people who claim they're helping are not helping, that they want to help with their own agenda. They want to help you not to be you, and you have to do what they say, or you obviously don't really want help. In other words, the help is a form of control. And she's already shown a sign of that, just one. She's a very nice person. Everybody thinks they're nice, but obviously the world is in a pretty terrible state, and it got here somehow. I'm taking a different road into town than normal, so you haven't seen this one much, but this is the main road. Yeah, it is the main road for me. I don't take it because I have a different way. I have permission to go through another land that is also land that I should get rich really quick and buy, or help someone else buy, although that one would be a bit more costly. It has a pretty high value to the people who own it. I know who they are. And but everything's for sale at the right price, you know? And to make my project work, access has been a continuing problem. I mean, this road is actually better than it's ever been. If I bought the land below me, it would actually help skip part of the worst part of the road. And then I could make a different entry in through the land. I have so crystal clear these visions of using land in a different way, of setting up areas used for different purposes, of how to plant more plants. And like I was thinking today again about this app that would remember where plants are that are interesting, or mushrooms, and I could actually then dig parts of those plants up and move them to other places that were similar because they're rare. Like there's one plant that I only think grows in 2 spots that I know of, and there's a few plants like that actually. Now, is that important? I don't know, and I don't care. If it's a rare plant, then I want to make more of it, just because. One of them is like a tiny coralline that it's short and just comes up once a year. It comes up, has these cool little red flowers, and then goes away. And then the other one comes up, and actually that's the third one. There's one that comes up and it almost looks like it's a mushroom-shaped plant, kind of. And then its leaves open up, And it doesn't stay for that long. I don't know how long it's there for. Again, an app would tell you that. You could walk a place and keep recording, like, this plant's interesting. We're going to track this one. Then there's another one with just cool shaped leaves. Those are all plants that show up and then go away pretty quickly. And it's weird of them. There's also crocuses that come up. Crocuses are often the first interesting plant that you see in the spring. And they come up in the shittiest ground that there is. They'll like grow in a place that people have driven. They grow in tromped down dirt. And that would be cool because also I'd like to collect the pollen stamen. Is that a thing? I don't know. I forget a lot of stuff. It's been a long time. And but saffron actually comes from a type of crocus, and you have to collect shit tons of it to get any at all. And so the temptation then is to, because saffron's like the most valuable spice in the world, and I would like to try growing it. That would be very difficult, probably won't work out, but you know, I mean, it's the most valuable spice in the world, and one of the reasons it's the most valuable is because it's very labor intensive to collect it. Fuck, am I really walking this way? Yeah, this is good. I like to check on this road anyway and see how it's doing. It's a really nice road now. Like, this is way better than it was when I first moved here. Way, way better. Somebody has put a weird plant in here. This whole road could get landscaped with perennial plants that look cool. I could be part of doing that and make them not be so valuable ones that people steal them, but that they look cool or they're edible, like nopales. Like, this should all have agaves, nopales, coralline. There's already some coralline on it, and with the understanding that it's probably going to get bulldozed to get wider. So I don't know. That's an optional project. I've got really cool projects. I made a tiny bit of progress yesterday on that. Oh, back to the crocus. What I need to do is grow enough of that crocus in a spot where it likes it, because there's some plants of it, but not very many. So I need to reproduce it and also find out what it likes better. If it likes a little bit more water, we could break the no irrigation rule and give it some water, and collect the pollen things and see if they taste anything like saffron. And then, of course, we should try and get the saffron plant, which is not going to be invasive. We would check into that, of course, as always, but it's going to be hard to grow. So I have all this ambition, and I made a little bit of progress yesterday on recruiting people who would actually be directly really interesting on video and with business projects. I have software business ideas. I have ideas for... God, am I forgetting something basic? God, I hope not. But choosing people who believe in creating a culture that has attributes that I want. One commenter recently said something about, like, I made a video about creating a community and stuff, and I undoubtedly talked about that there have to be certain rules to have that survive. And his comment was, well, you have to have, maybe lighten up and let there be some more freedom. He didn't say lighten up, but I've heard that for 20 fucking years from people who come and, they should go buy their own land if they want to do what they want to do. But I know that most things don't work. And they don't work for really obvious reasons. So I want to create something that works. And so I need to collect people who have a shared vision with me. There are many people who have delusional ideas about how you create a community space that actually functions. And there's been a couple of people that actually commented helpful things. Like, they mentioned that all startups are dictatorships. And that makes total sense. One person sets out a vision that they believe is valuable and is going to work, and then they get other people on board with that vision. They don't get a bunch of people together and say, what should we do? How should we do it? Let's all be in charge. No. And you can watch like reality television shows like Fox Utopia, which I can't find online, but they did a great show, and it was just a obvious failure because, I mean, no, it was a great show. They had tons of cameras, they had a farm thing, and they cast a bunch of really diverse people, which is cool, but they were having constant conflicts over what the hell they should be doing. They were spending more time with struggles against each other, which is what is supposed to make good TV, right? Probably. They're casting, in fact, for conflict. Looks like a rattlesnake's been through here. See these tracks? Okay, this will be fine. Fuck it. I'm really happy I'm getting out of there so early because I can then avoid the heat of the day. Although it's still, the sun gets oppressively hot, so it'll be hot walking back. And I got out of there at 7. There's a beeping in my kitchen at 7 a.m. every morning, and I don't know where the hell it's coming from, and my hearing's pretty bad. I mean, my whole body's pretty damaged from the life I've led, and I mean, the hearing damage happened when I was a kid, so it was not what you think. It's not rock concerts. I went to some, I was in the grunge era and stuff, and but I used to do video, but I didn't go that much to those. They were really noisy. Sometimes I even used earplugs because it's like, just tone it down, Jesus Christ. But it was all kind of angsty adolescent males, or not adolescent, but early 20s, and it's just like, louder it is the better. That's all they can think about. Louder's better. It's like, no, it isn't actually. It sucks. And I thought that at the time too. Anyway, but the hearing damage actually came from trains, because we played around trains when I was a kid. We lived in a country setting, and that was really fun to go over, and we used to like to stand between the two trains if we could time it right. And we felt that was really lucky when we could do that. And we would stand between two trains as they passed, or even get into this little thing, kind of culvert between them, where there's a little, crosses a stream or a river. And but it was really noisy, and I'm pretty sure that did some damage. And then we shot guns all the time. We would like shoot out candles or beer cans, obviously. I don't even think it was beer cans, since my family didn't drink beer. They thought that was bad. So, but we shot a lot of stuff. We didn't use any ear protection. That was kind of dumb. And then we used chainsaws a lot without ear protection to make money in high school, cutting firewood and then selling it on the back of a pickup truck. And fuck. I don't know if I should get money out of the cash machine or not. I have a little bit in there. I'm not quite sure how much I have, and I can't check my balance because I don't have my computer working, and my computer's going bad too. Anyway, so the hearing loss happened pretty early, and my whole body's just exhausted. It's malnourished. Like, I have enough food, but it's shitty food. I eat pasta all the time, and I'm depressed because I'm so lonely. I mean, months go without me having a conversation with anyone. I had 2 visitors this year so far. 3. This has been unusual, a bunch of visitors, because I only had 1 in all of 2004. And it's now March, and I've already had 3. But that's not a lot of social contact, you know. And I'm actually a very social person. And the problem now is when I meet people, or even sometimes on webcam, I get kind of excited and talkative, and I'm socially fucked up. And I'm aware of it, and one friend of mine was nice enough to tell me that I was, and I really appreciated that. And we're great friends. This was the same guy that helped me with the battery diagram and stuff, and knowing what to buy. Oh, that's another thing on my list today, is go to this store that is a distributor for that battery brand and see what they would charge me to get those. I also found 2 places online that sell it. Amazon is one, and another online sales thing, and they have wildly varying prices. But ordering something online is risky. On the one site, the one that has the cheapest prices, a friend of mine ordered something on there once, and it just never arrived. And she called them up a couple times, and then they just weren't going to pay her back because they never sent the product. And it was just, she got scammed. It's not her fault at all. I felt really bad for her because she was staying at my place, and she wanted to get these things. It was like some essential oils or something. You know, chicks like essential oils a lot for some reason. Especially like tea tree oil, which is another to-do item, is I should look up and see if I can grow tea trees. The hell a tea tree is. Because it's not tea. It's not a tea plant. My whole body feels like it's in pain. And I've been sleeping in a different bed next to rat shit, because the other one got rained on too much, and because there was an unseasonable rain, and I didn't have the tarp on there right, and so then it kind of got a little bit moldy, so it doesn't smell very good. All my clothes are dirty as fuck. These are ripped in the crotch, so I don't think I should even sit down in public, because, you know, if I spread my legs at all, then there's this big hole right there in my pants. It looks probably a little perverted or something. And I'm willing to be a pervert, but not in town accidentally for random people. That seems rude. This is great. I'm making good progress. I have not been walking as much as I have before. I was doing better before. There's a lot of times of the year when it's really nice to walk, but one of the problems here is the sun comes up, and I'm at a pretty high elevation. I'm at 2,300 meters, whatever that is. I think it's almost 8,000 feet, very high up, and so the sun is extra strong. And so it isn't that it's hot in terms of the temperature isn't that bad, but the radiation heats you up. And so that's why I'm getting out of here so early this morning. I want to be the first guy at the businesses I'm going to, and buy the shit I need, and then get the fuck back to home, screw in the spark plug, do my online demo of this software that's supposed to help nonprofits. I don't know if it's useful, but I have to set up a nonprofit because I'm also going to die. I'm more aware of that than I've ever been in my life. I'm really concerned, and I don't care about the dying part, although nobody ever checks on me. So somebody pointed out in the comments, like, you know, that they're worried about me, like, what happens if I die? And the truth is, if I die right now, it could be a couple months before somebody thinks to check on me. It could be a long time. So, and that's just kind of a little bit gross, you know, because your body gets grosser. I'd rather just die and then go in the ground real quick. I mean, that's a detail. The actual issue is I have to make a will, but I do not know who to will the land to, and it's not you, by the way. I've had 1,000 people, well, at least hundreds. When I say that, they say, give it to me. But it's like, they don't say, give it to me and I'll do this really great thing with it and I have resources and a plan for it. They just say, give it to me. It's like, why? No. You know? And I do need to write up better the plans for every part of that land, along with the general principles of land use that I've come to think are probably true, but some of them are not, because I haven't done things at the level I'm designing for at this point. I've done a lot of cool shit, but I want to design whole areas for different uses, and make a better rabbit area, chicken area, be able to raise burros, donkeys, horses, because I don't have a car. And if I did do a fundraiser, I mean, what would be the budget I'd be looking for? Well, this surviving on a tiny amount of donation stuff is kind of torturous. It's fine, and I really appreciate it, people who donate to me, but where I'm looking at like $290 of donations a month, and at the moment a guy has been giving me another 200, but he might stop doing that, and I'm taking care of a drain on my money, and I'm getting rid of it. It's going to cost me a lot to get rid of that, but there's nothing else I can do. I'm just at a point of desperation where all my systems are failed. Right now my generator that pumps water is down in town, and the reason I even need that generator is because the pump that is installed on that particular big water tank is too big. It's way bigger than it needs to be, and so it could get replaced with a 12-volt one, and then also I should have a submersible pump that I can move to places as needed. In other words, I need basic systems. And the thing is that I've always been in this really fragile position. Do I take that road or that road? Fuck it. See, this trail. The trail is sometimes overgrown and difficult and steep. I don't want to do that. I'm going to take the road, take the easy way. It's a tiny bit longer. This is actually a flaw right here. It says that trail is the actual road on Google Maps, and people have gotten lost because of that. What I need to do is put down there a sign, an arrow, that points them to the real road, this one. And I've updated it on Google Maps. I tried like 6 times to tell them, no, it's this is the real road over here. And they say, thank you, and then they don't update it. It's very annoying to me. Hola.
Hola, buenos días. ¿Caminando, eh?
Sí.
Muy bien, muy bien.
And so that's one more annoyance. I'm so annoyed with most everything. Like, I found an old iPod in a computer carrying case because I had to carry my computer to town, and I reached into one of the pockets and found this really old iPod. I'm not really sure what an iPod is. I think it's for music or something. And I looked up how to reset it, but those instructions don't work. I think it's too old, but I did charge it, and I would like to fix it. Oh, God damn it. Okay. I need a shower really bad too. I think I was proud of myself for not taking a shower for a year, but now it's been like longer than a year. Like my sense of time is totally shot. So it's a year and 3 months, year and 6 months. I did not even know. But I found that I think I've gotten to the point where it's disgusting. I have some kind of cuts behind my ear for some reason. I must have scratched it or something somehow. I don't know why I would do that, but it is amazing that I've gone as long as I have without a shower. It's been very impressive, actually, and I still love the idea that my life is an experiment in not doing things the way you're supposed to find out what the actual rules of life are, what actually matters, because it's my belief that most of what we do in industrial civilization is actually a total waste, and we won't even be able to do it later because the systems that support us to be able to live this emperor-like lifestyle, and it's all based on oppression of other people and fossil fuels. That's what civilization is built on, oppression of other people and fossil fuels. And that's why you've got people in countries making $1 a day, and you've got other people who are rich as fuck. God, it's beautiful. So it doesn't bother me that life is this difficult. Oh, the other thing I gotta do is kill the fucking rats. And I really hate killing shit so much, but I do have rat poison. I've also got a cool bucket trap that I bought that I tried out once. It didn't work, but everybody online has videos saying, oh, it's a great thing. It's just magically wonderful. And it's like, well, fuck. And there might be mice or rats, but some of them are pretty big. And I see them sometimes. I mean, I'm like in bed, and they'll go by on the rock wall next to me. And that's disgusting. And they poo on shit and they pee on shit. They're actually a health hazard. There's diseases I could get because there's mice in my house. You know? And, wow, so what an idyllic spot. Look down there, little house. House that gets the morning sun, as it should. I need to build a bunch of tiny houses like that. Actually, they should be a little bit bigger because I want them to have composting toilets, rain capture, solar power, water tanks, everything. God, my legs are killing me. Maybe I should have taken a painkiller. I still have painkillers left over from like almost 6 years now. When I broke both my legs, actually, really badly. Both my femurs in 2 spots each. Not a good injury to get. And people were very helpful in getting me fixed up, but yeah. It is really nice. So, how is the road down here? See, it's still not great. Now, the solution is to buy that other piece of land and get a real road in and do bulldozer work to fix parts of the road on my own land that you can't really pass currently. I was doing that, but the bulldozer broke down years ago. Like 12 years ago, I did one period of bulldozer work. It was mostly worked out great, but I wasn't quite done with the things I wanted to do, and the bulldozer broke. I think actually what happened was that the contract, because it was a really good deal, that they had another job to go do, and that was a side job as a favor. I mean, I paid, but I got a good price. I think it was a government subsidized bulldozer. And so I think what actually happened was that one day they realized that they were no longer going to work for me on my property. But it did open up a lot of my land, all the bulldozer work that got done. And I have this whole list of other bulldozer stuff to get done, and a couple half-finished projects to finish as well. Well, 3 that I can think of on top of my head, where it's like we got part of it done, but it wasn't totally finished enough to have it be useful. So, but now I've got crazy ideas of what to do, and I'm much more confident, because the first time I was not confident, and I was scared the bulldozer would hurt the earth, and it has not hurt the earth at all. In fact, it's helped it in many areas, because I build roads on contour, meaning that they're level along a slope, and that can guide water in ways that actually create lots more underbrush and microclimates, so it's actually helpful to the land. Also, in my crowdfunding, I've thought about crowdfunding individuals who want to come, because they always tell me how great they are. Well, then they should tell the world how great they are, and they should be willing to put their face out there. A lot of them are anonymous people. They don't have their face out there at all. And therefore, what they think is their really valuable labor doesn't give me what I really need, which is communicating ideas out to the world. And so being on camera, doing really cool shit, building some of the designs I have made, and sharing knowledge and adventure with people. And so if they can't get crowdfunding with their contacts, with their supposedly great reputation, if they can't, and basically have individual crowdfunding things for people to support themselves being here, being part of the project, if they don't want to pay themselves. Once it's popular, people will offer to come and just pay, but there'll still be an application process, and you can't just pay your way in. I'm not doing that either. I'm not going to have people here for free, and I'm not going to have them just pay their way in, because both of those have problems. They set things up badly. So getting a vehicle is also a part of that crowdfunding effort. Even though I want to go with horses now, and I thought maybe I have owned my last vehicle, and I probably wouldn't end up owning this vehicle. I have a nonprofit. The nonprofit could own it. I have to get insurance on it. I have to get some other things worked out, but it would actually be owned by the project. Okay, how far am I? Far. Okay. See, this is where Google Maps tells you to go, but the obvious bigger road is over there. And if you go up this road, you're not going to make it. It'll just get worse and worse and worse, and then you'll have to back out on a shitty road. And my friend did that, and he actually works for Google. So I should send him a note and say, look, I've tried to fix this fucking thing so many times. Can you send an internal mail in the company to somebody and say, look at this fucking spot. It is wrong. Fix it. Because after 6 times of trying, they haven't listened to me. And I'm getting so tired now and beat down because I have more broken systems than things that work. In fact, almost nothing actually works anymore. Sometimes I feel like I've been kind of a sucker. Well, in fact, I know I have been. I just watched a video by some cute young chick talking about how her life has changed because she became selfish. And she doesn't mean selfish in a really bad way. She means taking care of yourself first, which is what I have not done. And I continually have people contacting me saying how they want to come for free. I got 4 last week. And they'll have really good excuses why their life should be free, but it's not going to work for me. So that's the only people I talk to, are people that want something, pretty much. It's not totally true. There's like two people I talk to. There's another guy I talk to sometimes, but I don't know. Usually, I mean, nobody has a reason to talk to me, really. And maybe I'm not as fun to talk to anymore. I don't know. I've been trying to listen more. Like my friend, when we chatted, I get so excited about ideas and I start almost preaching about shit. Probably doesn't help that I also talk on this camera all the time. Very one-sided conversations. And that's not good social training at all. There's some cows up here. Cows kind of scare me. They're too random in what they do. Hey, cow. And here's some young ones. Those make me even more nervous. Just don't feel like cows are very bright. And they get startled suddenly. Oh, my dogs are going to fucking bark at those cows. Where are my dogs? I've lost my dogs. That's good. I don't want them going into town with me anyway. That's why I need a fence. Keep the dogs at home. I mean, I've got one leash in my backpack. That's another thing I could get if I crowdfund it. I mean, I think I should make a budget of like, what are the key items that I could fund that would make this place begin again. One of them is people. And then the people, I won't be in struggle with them as much. They will have to make sure they continue to get donors. And those donors like what they're doing, and they're reporting to their boss, essentially, who is the oh, there's one dog. Maybe I lost 3 dogs. That'd be great. I don't know when that happened exactly. But it sets up the dynamic better. And they would be, the funding thing would go into the nonprofit. And then maybe the nonprofit would actually, it would be paying them in terms of a couple ways they could benefit are being somewhere cool with cool people. And I would benefit too because I like cool people. Oh, there's a dog up there. So there's other ones are probably still around here somewhere. Fuck. And but some of them like publicity, like if they're influencers or something. And they would benefit by doing cool projects, being involved in some really just amazingly cool stuff. Oh, there's another dog. And there's probably one more. That dog is more skittish. It's not really my dog. And so some of them would benefit from publicity for their thing. Some of them could actually maybe even be paid. I don't know that. There may be some tax implications for that, of just handing people money, because I don't want to violate any labor laws or anything. And so it would be more like a trade where you gather a bunch of people together, do cool shit. I mean, I have so many cool ideas I've written down over the years. I got notebooks full of amazing projects, and the philosophy I have of how to do things is so different than anything I've ever heard of. It's similar in some ways. I mean, everything I think is borrowed in bits and pieces from other things, from festivals, from from groups of all kinds, from business, from spiritual groups. Trying to avoid using the word cult. There definitely will not be freedom. I might respond to that guy's comment, because the problem is that if you give people freedom over something that they don't have any investment in, they will destroy it. In fact, they'll probably destroy it in most cases anyway. Like people doing things that violate local culture. That's happened. People who start forest fires. That's happened. People who do illegal shit. And like I had one group of young people here, very fun people, but like they posted on Facebook them smoking pot in a cabin, and it's just like, don't do that. And somebody from that same fucking group planted pot on the property. I didn't know about that, and I had some government people coming out to check out some shit in that area. And my friend told me the day that they were showing up, oh, by the way, this person planted pot. And so I went down there looking for it. I couldn't find any. I think it probably just died. But that's a terrible, rude thing. And that same person stole my dog. She left me a note and said, oh, your dog wants to go with me, because I had a bunch of dogs. And she liked that dog. And she was hitchhiking. So she went into town, got into the back of a pickup truck with my dog. And she had left a note saying she was taking the dog. And then on social media she said, oh, the dog followed me. And it's like, well, the dog followed you because you wanted it to go with you and you encouraged it to. That's why you left a note. You know, I mean, I got the dog back, but I had to be really, really rude online. And she was a total sociopath. If you open your life up to random people, you're going to have a lot of people who want to take advantage of you. A whole bunch. And I don't know if people at base are good or bad. I tend to think that they're neutral. But there's a lot of them that just do bad things because we do bad things. I think maybe all of us do. I do. And we are inherently selfish. There's a great book called The Elephant in the Brain, which is definitely worth reading a couple times. I listened to the audiobook of it. And it talks about hidden motivations that we have. We're kind of inherently selfish, and we use rationalizations and justifications for that, which is really, really bad. There's some people up there, I don't like that. See, that's the problem with this particular road, is that I run into more people. I like running into people, especially not two of them that don't have cows or anything. Makes me nervous. And I've got my camera, got my phone, got all the cash that I have on me, which is not very much. But when you don't have any, hardly, it's pretty bad. So, yeah, young guys. So, we're getting closer to town now, which is nice. That was actually really cool. I just talked to a guy that I used to pay to help me out with projects like 15 years ago or something. And it was a nice chat. His kid is now 16, 17. That guy's going up to work in an orchard with his son. His son is now, what did he say? I asked him, but then I forgot. He'll listen. Like 17 or something. And his son was just a little kid before. I remember that. I went to this guy's house and they were quite poor. Like I don't want to talk about that really, but they live in pretty bad conditions. But there's not a lot of work here. It's very rural. Alright, so I took the left part of this road, and this is actually, there's two roads that connect to here. There's actually another one up above, but it's very narrow. And one of them's really steep, but might be, I don't know which, if like, because some people have talked to me about bringing a van in here, or a bus. Like some lady has a bus, and she's traveling. And she asked me like, well, you think my bus could go on your road? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, this is the road right here. And I think with some difficulty, maybe, and that's a crowdfunding issue that, like, I can't build 5 kilometers of better road and then maintain it. And this is government road. So I don't want to put my money into it at all. It would cost like, I don't know, make up a number like $60,000-$70,000 to fix it up to some level. And I'd rather put that money into buying the other piece of land and getting a road to my property and also getting land. And this is why I'm also seeking people with resources. And I posted online in various forums where people want to move to this area, and I post about land, real estate opportunities, and discuss why it's a good piece of land or not. And I mentioned that, you know, I'm open to talking with people who'd be good neighbors, and nobody's ever responded and said, yeah, I'm interested in that. And I think it's because in the forums I'm on, that particular forum, everybody just wants to live for free off someone else. That's the kind of people that forum attracts. And so they don't want to buy their own land. And they say they're all wanting community, but they all want a community where somebody else pays and they don't. That's so common, it's ridiculous. And I think it's because they were trained in the industrial world to be that way. They were raised wrong. And it's not exactly their fault. They grew up in a culture of affluence. They grew up in a culture where the government doles out money. And so people think, oh, I should get money from the state. And state is the big daddy, and they think I'm going to be the state for them. It just does not work. And then they want to do whatever the fuck they want, much of which is bad things. Like, I do complain about that some, and maybe I should just make one video where I, you know, go through the thousands and thousands of things that are dumb that people have done that illustrate how fucked up they are, and why we can't have communities that function, why there's tens of thousands of people, probably millions, looking for communities, but they can't manage to work it out. Even biological families often don't work out very well. And it's because we're so trained to take more than we give. We are living in fake affluence because of fossil fuels, and because I come from, for example, an economy in the U.S. where they've taken resources out of other places for a long time. You know, they've invaded Latin America many times. They've bombed Panama during my lifetime. I know a little bit about the Nicaragua Civil War and the influence there of I think it was Soviet Union at the time, and USA. And the people just got screwed. And so now there's these problems with the economies in these countries and resources, you know, with bananas exports and other stuff. Resources go out of these countries, and so there's this false wealth. This is kind of industrialism, colonialism, And then of course the fossil fuels are just an amazing source of labor, of horsepower. But what that means is we haven't built a society where we're doing those things ourselves. And so we've gotten lazy and weak, and we don't know it. So a lot of more people are realizing that, and I see more and more predictions that the U.S. empire is going to fall, because it will. Every sign is there. And that's a very sad thing, because some of the basis of the United States was really, really cool. The legal basis. But, we haven't followed the Constitution for a long time. A lot of people upset right now because of recent administration changes. And it's like, well, you've been living in a delusional, fucked up world for as long as I've been alive, and before that, from what I read. But I've been saying for 40 years we got a massive problem. And nobody gives a shit because they're wealthy. Or they're poor, and they're still better off being poor in a rich country. But people have realized that things have to change, and whether that change ends up being good or not is unclear. But I do like some of the things that are being done to take extreme measures and perhaps rein in the scope of the federal government. I think that's really important. Fucking hair all over the road here. Why the fuck would that be? Looks like probably cow hair. Alright, I can see town way over there. And so I'm stuck in this conundrum with people where I both need them maybe, and I'm scared shitless of them. And so my thinking is that solutions are to make social agreements. Oh, there's that other dog. So I'm going to town with 4 dogs who don't understand cars very well. That is just a recipe for disaster. And luckily, people drive pretty slow in town. But there is a danger that one of these dogs that are not educated about cars is going to suddenly get squished by a car. And I won't even be able to carry its body home to bury it. I'll have to pay somebody else to take care of it. They might even blame me, although there's no leash law here. So there's plenty of dogs running around, but they're dogs that are used to being in town. Oh, here's another person coming up the road. Kind of nice to see people out walking in the morning. It's really excellent. They're getting exercise, just like me. Except they're not some weirdo talking to a camera. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little chat walking up the road. See you later.